But today I'm talking about whether or not you are possibly a master manifester. There are 5 clear signs that I notice with people who tend to manifest things very, very easily in their lives, right? So sometimes you can look at manifesting as like a superpower that you don't know you have yet, like in all the superhero TV shows. And it's a powerful tool, but you don't really know how to use it and direct it, right? Hello. My name is Jameelah. I am an author, a professor, and also a magical manifester. I like to call myself a manifester of magic because when things truly work out in our lives like we want them to, it feels like magic, right? And I always tell people, manifesting the life I choose is the only life I know. I have not been on default for many years. So at this point, I call myself a master manifester. But today I'm talking about whether or not you are possibly a master manifester. There are 5 clear signs that I notice with people who tend to manifest things very, very easily in their lives, right? So sometimes you can look at manifesting as like a superpower that you don't know you have yet, like in all the superhero TV shows. And it's a powerful tool, but you don't really know how to use it and direct it, right? So there are 5 signs that I know that are usually attached to people who are master manifestors, right? I mean, they're really good at getting the universe's attention and having these things that they want delivered into their lives, right? So I'm going to keep these in order because I wanted them in a certain order when I was talking about them, right? So the first one is, when you go out and about and you're off in public, you get a lot of attention. And I'm not saying a lot of attention based on some kind of a sexy outfit or something like that, or something that you're creating a spectacle with, but I mean just in general. Okay, so I was writing this up last night, before I went to bed. I was like, let me outline the video that I'm gonna make. And so this morning I was like, let me get to the grocery stores really early because I don't like Saturday crowds in grocery stores. So I'm out at the grocery store today. I was stopped by people 5 times because I was like, what are the things that you know when you're in alignment and that you're manifesting and you're creating things in your life even when you can't see it? So it was one from the perfume that I was wearing to my hair to my fitness and what do I do for fitness routines. It was just back to back to back. And I was just like, wow, I'm feeling really special today. So something that I have noticed with manifestors who are masters at it and who have the ability to harness all that energy from the universe, they tend to get a lot of attention when they're out in public. So do you get that? Do you get people stopping you to ask you about insignificant things? Where do you get your shoes from? I like your hair. Just things that you already like and know about yourself, but they notice and they make sure that you know that they notice, right? And you're walking around just doing your own life and you're getting a lot of attention. That's usually a really good sign. You often think about something that you want or that you want to do, and almost immediately you're in an environment where people are talking about it, where people are going on about it, where you get on a phone with someone and they discuss it. So I have another video that I'm doing, and it's not this one. It's about manifesting a dream car. I don't like to call them dream cars, but I mean, just that's kind of the common language. Just, you know, my life car, the car that I'm going to have in my life, not a dream, because a dream kind of pushes it off to the side. So when I was really thinking about this vehicle and I was like, oh, is it a good time? It seems like a good time. Is it, you know, and all these things. First of all, I was seeing them everywhere in the color that I wanted everywhere. And when I called one of the dealerships, the guy was like, oh yeah, we still have that one. It's nice. You know, you can come down and look at it. And I was like, still contemplating it. And so right when I hung up the phone with him, a friend of mine texted me a picture of the exact video, like within 2 minutes, and said, I thought I saw you today. She was making a joke, but she was just really referring to how much she'd heard me talk about it and how prevalent that vision was in my life. It started appearing everywhere. So another one is when you just mention something little and it just appears. You know, I might mention, I would love to have some, I wish I had some something spicy, right? And then someone will call me, or my partner will call and he'll say, I was just stopping at the Indian restaurant. Do you want something to eat? I was like, I was just thinking about that. And so it's also one of those things too, where you think about someone and you're like, oh, so-and-so said they were going to call me, but I haven't heard from them. And then I look at my watch, and then the next text message that comes in within a minute is them. So that happens a lot. That's a very, very good convincing sign for me that you are a good manifester, and you just need to learn how to hone that skill and put it in the direction that you want things to go. Number 3 is, this is a good one. You experience negative karma almost immediately, meaning that manifesting is not always just the things that you want. Sometimes manifesting are the things that your energy is creating and the things that you are thinking about that you do not want, but it's just prevalent in your thought process. This is a good example. I was in a line one day at some sort of a fast food. I don't know where it was at. Bahama Bucks. It's a snow cone place, whatever. So I was in that place one day, and I was feeling good, flying high. I was with my daughters, and I went through the drive up, and they were doing that whole thing where they were like, the person in front of you paid for your order, right? And you know, what you normally should say is, oh, thank you, right? But they had done this thing where they started making it a chain. And so the girl at the window was just like, they pay for your order. Do you want to pay for the people's order behind you? And I'm like, you're not supposed to ask me that. You're just supposed to tell me that I got a gift, and then I'll decide, whatever. But immediately when she did it that way, it just annoyed me. I was just like, I come here to get one snow cone, and you're going to try to get me to pay for 5 snow cones behind me? I don't mind, but it's just the point that it should be my choice, and I shouldn't be asked that. So I immediately went into I turned the inward and got annoyed really quickly. And right when I did that, she was just like, well, you can pay for one of their snow cones because they have 5. I was like, that's fine. It doesn't matter as long as I pay for something before we leave. And then my vehicle just shut off immediately. And I always tell my daughters, and I'm like, now that's manifesting for you. I called that negative energy, and it came almost immediately. So you really have to watch it. When you are a master manifester, the universe is listening to you. It's like it knows that you are trying to get its attention all the time. And it doesn't matter whether you think it's something good or something bad. It's going to give you what you're asking for. And that negative energy that I created really quickly at that window, it came to me like boom. And I mean, I had to get my car moved, and they tried to jumpstart it. It was all kinds of things happening, and it was just a big ordeal. And for the life of me, I cannot get out of my head that look how immediately I had attitude, and look how quickly things came tumbling down. So you have to be mindful of that, right? So a 4th sign is other people like to be around you and in your space, right? Even though you might be an introvert, like I am very much so an introvert. Like I like to be around my people, my kids, my partner, like my immediate surroundings. That's good. I don't shut away from that. But you'll find that people are always trying to get you to go out to lunch and come and hang out, and do you want to go on a retreat with us? Or they'll contact you more because you're not really good at getting back to people like you should, and they'll keep you in the loop and be like, we have this going on. Do you want to come? It's because you're exuding a very strong positive energy, and it's really magnetic. And that magnetic energy is what you also use to manifest. It's also magnetic to people. So even though there are people out there that may have certain personalities, you pull towards yourself the personality traits that they have that are positive and that match where you're at in your life. So they may not even be exciting or whatever kind of people you think you want to be around, but when they come around you and they want to be around you, they bring a certain type of energy with them to match where you are. So that's a really big one that I notice is like people are looking for you for things. They're like, do you want to teach a class? I mean, this is my own life. Do you want to teach a class? Do you want to go on a retreat? We have this women's group. Do you want to be a part of the text message group message or whatever? There's this event coming up. You get invited to things a lot. So you'll see that even if you are introverted and you kind of stick to yourself, people are still drawn to you, and your introvertedness won't shut them out in any kind of way, because they can feel that magnetic energy and they want to be a part of it. And I would too. And the 5th and last sign that I have today is You're very easy about things you want to manifest. So, say you have really specific goals or things that you're trying to bring into your space. You're not really caught up on that whole forcing or pushing or pulling things. You don't do that anymore. Master manifestors know that, man, I am so in tune to the universe that I am magnetic. Things unfold in front of my eyes. They work out for me. Even when it looks like it's going in the other direction, I know that that is all a piece of the finished product, right? So you begin to get where you're like, I'm not going to be all uptight and excited and overdone about something I'm trying to manifest or something I would like to see. And to be honest with you, you don't even have to force that anymore. It's like you're just relaxed about it. It's like, I'm good. I know that when this thing is time for it to show up in my life, it'll be here, and that's fine. You don't have to say 100 mantras and do affirmations every night and day, because I find that when you're that focused on it, that you really don't believe in your ability to manifest and magnetically bring things into your space. You're kind of just like bumbling around thinking, the more I mention this thing, the more universe will hear it. But what type of energy is behind it? What type of thought process do you have behind it? If you can't let it go and detach from it, that means you have the thought process that you may not get it. So you think you got to keep on holding it and grabbing it and pulling it in tighter so that you can feel like, okay, well, if I'm, nailing it, getting down into the nitty gritty of it, this thing will come to me. And you can probably make some things come to you in that way, but I can honestly tell you it will not be with flow and ease like the way that you would appreciate a manifestation to show up in your life, right? So that's all the 5 signs. The best manifestations are usually delivered with the least amount of worry and the least amount of angst. So just remember that whenever you're thinking like, I know I'm a manifester. When you get that relaxed, cool energy and you start, that meditation that you've been doing consistently for a few weeks to 10 minutes, 15 minutes at a time, when it starts to really show, there's an inner glow that comes from you and other people can see it. Other people like to be around it. It can work in your favor and not in your favor. You also, when you go out in public, people want to do things for you. I get free things all the time. I was in Walgreens the other day, and I was leaving. One of the clerks that was like, we have a beauty bag. And she just went behind the counter and grabbed it for me. Here you go. This has samples of everything in the store. And I was like, oh, thank you. I wasn't asking for anything or looking for anything. This happens quite often. I was in the store this morning buying a cheese Danish. And I was like, I have this cheese Danish. She was like, oh, don't worry about that. I was like, okay, I got enough money for a cheese Danish, but it's fine if you tell me I can have it. I went to get drinks for my daughters. We went out and about, and I was at the service station. I got 4 big drinks with ice in it and stuff. And the guy at the counter was like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, I'm not buying it. He's like, don't worry about it. And it wasn't even like a big deal. The manager was right there. He was like, it's fine, go ahead. And so you'll see that these things start to happen a whole lot more, and people will compliment you on things that are not even like big things to you. It's like, oh, I like your hair. It's like, oh, nice, or I like your shoes or something like that, or whatever. And they may go out of their way because they like to be in your space. So just look for those sort of signs. And it's usually going to come when you are not worrying about whether or not some manifestation is going to show up. And this is especially with money. This is especially with finding a mate. This is especially with a career or a job or an occupation, something that you're trying to draw near to you. This is especially true of finding your tribe and attracting friends and those sort of things. And also like attracting things like trips, world travel. These are the sort of things you will not have to worry about. And you'll see how being a master manifester is easy once you relax, right? So if you have any stories like this, I always like to hear from people to see what type of magical manifestation stories that they have. Go ahead and comment in the comment section below and share, because what I find is that other people really like to hear these stories because they want to know that they're on the right track. Because there's nothing like thinking, okay, should I relax? But am I on the right track? Should I relax? But am I on the right track? And it's like, yes, 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 just relax. No matter what track you're on, if you relax, you're better off. So anyway, I hope you like this video and subscribe to the channel. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And just remember that Manifesting is just like any other superpower you might have. Once you harnessed it and direct it in the right direction, you can make all of these wonderful things show up in your life, right? I always feel like I'm a master manifester because manifesting the life I choose is all I know. I'm very deliberate about everything, very deliberate, but I'm also very relaxed. You all have a wonderful, wonderful day.